afternoon. My name is Miriam Espinoza. I'm going to be presenting today about why children need to get tested for lead poisoning. So I'm going to start off with a little story of how I got contaminated with lead and why this is so personal for me. The first thing is when I was a little girl, I was exposed to lead. I had lead in my body, which nobody knew about until I went to the doctor and found out. As a little girl, I used to put things in my mouth that I wasn't supposed to, like play with dirt or Mexican candy that now we know that has lead. So this is why, for me, this is very important for me to bring this message to you guys. So just to start off, what is lead? Lead is a poison and it's toxic. It's a heavy metal. Um, how usually children get lead poisoning is by pica behaviors. Pica behaviors are children putting non-food items in their mouth. For example, toys, dirt. A lot of children eat with their fingers, and that's how they're contaminating themselves with lead. Why is it important for children to get tested? Lead is so toxic that it affects the development of a child. It affects their growth, especially the first 5 years of the child's life. It's very important for us not to contaminate them or have anything destructive in the first 5 years of their life, because lead is a poison. It does affect their neurological development, their learning development, and it does affect their liver and internal organs. That's why it's very important for children to get tested and parents asking their medical provider, what is my child's lead level? If you get anything of this presentation, is this: any lead level is dangerous. So even a lead level of 1 is dangerous, even a lead level of 24 or 13, any lead level is dangerous. The other thing we want to talk about is the prevention. How do we prevent children from not getting contaminated with lead? The number one thing is for children to always be constantly washing their hands, making sure that they clip their nails before they ingest anything, making sure that they're sitting on a high chair, because a lot of kids drop food, put it on the floor, and then put it back in their mouth, and that's how another way they could get contaminated with lead. Make sure you're not buying things imported from Mexico and China that could have lead. Mexican candy has been known to have lead, so just make sure that you're seeing not buying those imports that could have lead. Here in America, there's different regulations. There's more regulations on making sure that things are not contaminated. Is in Mexico and China, it's harder for us to regulate those things, especially because there's a lot of imports coming into the United States. So that's why it's up to us to make sure that we're aware of the contaminants of lead and making sure that we test our children. Last but not least, like I said, a lot of the lead for children is usually just ingested. So just to kind of summarize, making sure children get tested, making sure you talk to your pediatrician, making sure that you're washing your child's hands and constantly making sure they're not putting non-food items in their mouth, and then talking to your pediatrician to get your children tested is very important. Just remember, the children are our future, and we need to invest in them and making sure that they don't have anything like lead contaminating them to be better and productive kids when they grow up. Another way to prevent is also making sure children eat foods high in calcium, iron, and vitamin C. Helps children. Thank you so much for being part of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, please call me, or I will provide my email address for any questions that you guys may have. And thank you.